Can you say all about this point? Yung mga sagot din ni VP Sara and the sagot po ng merkado.
Well, may allegation si VP Sara na sinasabi niya parang disgruntled employee, and may allegation po siya na parang nagsusulisit daw something like 16 million, but it was answered by Yusek Mercado. Parang ang sinasabi niya parang it's a project ng supposed ng DepEd at parang wala namang perang involved. I think it's a machine, something like that po. So one allegation against another allegation. So, yun po.
Sir, balikan ko lang din yung presentation nyo kanina kasi you mentioned this word plunder, no? Pandarambong. First time din namin narinig to ngayon sa pagdinig. Ano po ba, can you elaborate lang mostly po yung...
Well, because the money involved here is not loose change. Hindi naman po bariyang pinag-uusapan dito. We are talking here of hundreds and hundreds of million peso na hindi po maipaliwanag kung paano po talaga nagamit. At kung makikita po natin dun sa mga line of questioning at sa mga answer, parang hindi po nagtutugma yung mga lumalabas, yung mga parang halimbawa po yung mga medicine and food at saka yung mga purchase of supplies, parang lumalabas parang parang buo. Bumili sila ng purchase of supplies worth, I think, 40 million. Meron pong 40 million, meron pong 35 million. Pero ang pinagtataka po namin bakit wala man lamang butal. Parang sakto po lahat yung mga numero. At kagaya po nung tinanong namin sa COA, parang lumalabas, sinasabi nga po nila, kaya nga ito daw po na red flag dahil parang hindi nagtutugma sa mga ebidensya na pine-present. Or yung iba, wala talagang ebidensya. So, kaya nga po nagkaroon ng notice of disallowance.
Sir, gaano ka-importante ngayon yung pag-attend ni Vice President? Kung gaano kahalaga na pumunta sana si VP Sara Duterte sa hearings, ngayong may aligasyon na ganito si former Yusek Mercado?
Well, tingin ko napakalaga dahil siyempre kung yun ay nasagot niya agad, under oath, at least medyo magkakaroon ng timbang. Kasi po yung sa press con, wala naman po, it's not under oath So, you can say anything you want. Unlike dito po, yung nag-aakusa po sa kanya, at sinagot din po yung kanyang accusation under oath. At nagsumiti pa po ito ng affidavit na notarized. So, kung siya po talaga ay nagsisinungaling, si Yusek Mercado, bakit naman po siya papayag na ito ay siya ay mag-under oath at saka i-notarize? And considering na sa totoo lang, yung edad niya, retirable na 65 na 40 years in service. Pinakita naman po yung naging credentials niya, pati academic background niya. In fact, din pa siya ng DAP o development dito po sa may Tagaytay, kung hindi po ako nagkakamali. So medyo, kung titingnan po natin yung dalawa, medyo ito kasi nanumpa So alam naman po niya yung magiging consequence nun kung siya po ay nagsisinungaling.
Sir, kayo ba yung lumapit kay Yusek Mercado o siya po ba yung lumapit sa inyo? Paano po ba yung naging coordination? Paano niyo siya napagsalita?
Well, actually, nandiyan na po siya kanina. So, meron pong nakipag-coordinate po siya sa isa sa mga miyembro ng committee. So, yun nga po. At nung pinakinggan po namin yung kanyang statement at may affidavit, talaga namang medyo nakakagulat din. Nakakagulat din po.
Chair, ano pong ina-expect nyo in the next hearing? Meron pa ba kayong specific items na titingnan, i-explore? Ano pong aabangan namin in the next hearing?
Actually, marami pa dahil may mga binanggit din si Yusek Mercado ng mga personalities. Like yung kumausap sa kanya, hinigbigay sa kanya ng 50,000 at yung asawa po nun na I think part din ng department ni VP Sara. So, sinapina na po namin yon. So, let's see kung ano po yung mga maririnig natin sa kanilang mga pahayag.
Saan po ito hahantong? Is this going to lead to prosecution, impeachment? Because syempre, ang sinasabi ng iba, case build up. That's what the committee or the House is doing. Pero sa inyo, ganang chairman, ito saan matatapos lang?
Well, sa ngayon po, kasi ginagawa natin to in aid of legislation pa eh. 'Di ba? So, may mga nakikita na kami mga loopholes. Kagaya nga po ng binabanggit namin, lumalabas naman talaga na may mga departamento talaga na hindi talaga po pwedeng bigyan ng mga confidential fund eh. So sabi ko nga, nung nakausap ko kanina si Congressman Dan Fernandez, sabi ko, una sinasabi niya dapat yung joint circular ilimit. Pero ang sa akin pong paniniwala, dapat ang ilimit po yung ahensya o departamento na nakakatanggap po ng intelligence fund at confidential fund. Lalong-lalo na yung mga departamento at ahensya na wala namang kinalaman sa information gathering. Otherwise, magiging subject lamang ito sa abuse. Kasi kagaya po ng mga departamento, kagaya ng DepEd, Office of the Vice President, Office of the Vice Mayor, Office of the Provincial Vice Governor, yung mga yan wala naman po silang mandato to maintain peace and order. Ang talagang dapat meron yan, yung mga may mandato, halimbawa po yung mga kapulisan, Office of the President, yung mga local chief executive, yan, may mga mandato po yan, at doon po nila talaga gagamitin yung intelligence gathering. Samantalang dito po, wala. Nakikita po natin, pati yung purchase po ng mga supplies na wala naman pong connection, wala pong ebidensya na ito ay may connection sa intelligence gathering. Kasi yun po yung lumalabas sa circular, dapat lahat ng mga paggamit dito may kinalaman sa intelligence gathering.
So legislation lang, it stops there. It
Sa
will not
ngayon,
be used for impeachment.
Well, possibly. Meron pa rin pong, kasi palalim na po ng palalim yung ating investigasyon dito eh. So lahat naman po yan posible.
Thank you, Chair.
Much later.
No, the Vice President is watching us because she just had a press conference and she said that she's denying giving former DepEd Undersecretary Gloria Mercado 50,000 for 9 months. And the Vice President saying that Mercado was let go because she used DepEd to solicit donations from the private sector amounting to 16 million without her knowledge. And she adds that she will provide the media with paper trail to back up her claim, describing Mercado as a disgruntled former DepEd official. I think, ma'am, given your long history and long service to the Republic, 40 long years, I think it's fair
It's
for you to
very
be given
sad.
the opportunity to reply to the Vice President.
I think, I don't want to do this, but since siya na yung nagsabi, i-turn over ko na yung envelope. The envelopes where the money was.
Comsec?
So it's 9 envelopes.
Kuha po yung
So
envelope.
it says hope and the amount is there. Kasi ang sakit naman nun, ordinaryo lang akong trabahante tapos inano ka ng Vice President, di ba? It's very painful.
Ma'am, ilang taon na po kayo? I hope you don't mind. Hindi, gusto ko lang pong malaman kasi sabi po ninyo 40 years na po kayo in government.
I'm 65, sir, but
So when you were appointed as USEC noong 2022 ba? 2022? How old were you at
I
that
was 64.
64. And
Yeah.
I'm sure sa edad ninyong yan, after pagkatapos nyo pong pag-ingatan yung iyong pangalan for the past 40 years?
Sagutin ko yun. Yes, sir.
So, okay, anyway,
Sir,
Mr. Chairman,
I'd like to...
Mr. Chairman,
Sino yun?
Mr. Chairman, dito po ako.
Ay,
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, can I continue first?
Congressman, wait, before I recognize Congressman Paduano, ma'am, yes.
I believe
With the indulgence of Congressman Asidre, please continue, Congressman.
Mr. Chair, can we allow Yusek Mercado to continue with the response? Because I was trying to ask her about the 16 million that the Vice President mentioned.
Oh, please respond with respect to the 16 million. 1660. 16 million.
I would like to respond to that because it's a press con. When I was called for by Yusek Sulaika, he said, Yusek Mercado, you have to go because one, you have a teacher in your staff. But I explained to them that the teacher was a contract of services when I joined DepEd. And the teacher has a pending application in Cebu because he's from the Visayas. And while he was working with us, he qualified for the RQA. But then when he received his appointment as a teacher, it was already past the opening of the class. It was almost opening, and the teaching load was already apportioned. So I called the RD. I said, can I still keep him? Because he was working on the special hardship allowance, which was a program that BP Sara also wanted to improve, because there's a new hardship allowance, and we were just able to reduce the hardship threshold from 0.37 to 0.33. And she wanted the basis for the giving of the hardship allowance, special hardship allowance, revisited. So that's why that guy was the one working on it. So I explained, and I don't feel at all na guilty ako dun sa sinabi niya. The second one is, Sulaika mentioned that I solicited from 2 agencies. So I explained to her that it was a program which our strand developed. There were 2 consultants from UNICEF who developed the app, and then we asked our external partnership office to look for external partners who will be presenting the program, because we developed the concept. It was DepEd Guro. It's her being able to contact the 980,000 teachers. Parang kahit nasan siya, pwede niyang makausap yung mga teachers. The second one was for us to do an electronic mode of the RQA. Parang there's no human intervention anymore. Everyone uploads the credential. Even the computation of the teacher qualification is already on an what do you call this? Wala na siyang human intervention. So that was the program. It wasn't us who choose who would be the partners who will be invited. It was the external partnership. So we made a presentation to almost all the corporations. And then some of the corporations appreciated that it's a very important program. So some of them committed to buy, because what we did is we divided the total fund of 16 million into chewable chunks. So if you're interested with this package, ito lang. If you're interested with it, because not everyone naman wanted to pay the 16 million. But there were 2 corporations who were willing to fund, because we wanted to put 1 in Mindanao, 1 in Visayas, and 1 in Luzon. So there were 2 who committed to fund the full package. And those were the 2 corporations that Yusek Sulaika said I solicited. So I explained properly. I did not solicit. There's no money involved there. These are equipments. Walang cash po doon. Equipment siya na ito turn over sa DepEd. So I feel very sad that up until now, the BP has not been appraised, as I explained it to her people, that we did not solicit. In fact, the two corporations are willing to give an affidavit that I have no solicitation from them of 16 million.
So to reiterate, Mr. Chair, Yusek, first, this was a sanctioned DepEd project.
It's a DepEd project.
Second,
yes.
You did not do the solicitation yourself.
This was managed by the External
Partnerships Office. Third, no cash donation was ever made. Equipments was given to the department. So none of this, what allegations that the Vice President is making against you is true.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chair. And that makes it very sad because she's saying it now. Ibig sabihin, her people did not explain to her.
At least I know she's watching, then she'll probably be able to get the information from you now. Thank you, Mr. Chair.